As we are getting into our fresh new series, second round of the tournament. And here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Lightshade LE. We have the Mexican Protoss player. He is blue, representing Team Alpha X. And I hope Fernandoc is in the chat because his boy is here. It is Pacomike. And in the bottom right-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the Costa Rican Zerg player. He is purple, representing T-Sub Gaming. It is EON. Just wiped the floor with his opponent Aris earlier. But now he's in a completely different matchup against a completely different player. And oh boy. We'll see what EON has in store for us here. I do want to believe he knows that he is kind of a bit of an underdog against Pacomike. And one of the big things that I remember from EON is that he's a very aggressive player. I wouldn't be surprised if we see, I don't know, some Niduses, some drop play, something along those lines. It just feels like the kind of player that EON is, but we'll see. Maybe he's a changed man, maybe. As Pacomike is coming in with his probe, we do see so far everything has been pretty standard. We did see a hatch gas pool opener here from EON, nothing too crazy. Everything pretty standard compared to his ZVT, where again he delayed his gases for so long and got a third base up and running. Aye. And we'll see where this takes us. We have to look at Pacomike as well. I'm a little bit concerned for the people who have been watching Battle of the Americas recently over the past couple of weeks and Pacomike's play. He has been having a lot of fun and he has been playing around a little bit with Fast Fleet Beacon into Tempest, to his detriment. For those who remember this, he played it against a couple of players. I believe he did it against Ryu, he did it against Jim Rising, and the Tempest just did not work out for him at all. It was awful. We could see where he was going with it, but oh god, it just every single time it got hard, it would get scouted, and then the Zerg player would go into Corruptors and just shut down the Tempest. Like, it just did not work out. And the last time we casted Pacomike was like, you know, I was just having fun, I won't do that anymore, and instead he would go into fast carriers, and that's more the Pacomike that we know and love. But we'll see where we can go from here, as at the moment the Adept is coming in here. I mean, there's plenty of Lings. I say that, there's only 2 Lings. There is a Queen. Right now Pacomike actually commits to the Shade, will get a couple of worker kills for his trouble. 1 drone already going down. Oh my god. And never underestimate 1 Adept. Peruvians have excellent peripheral vision. They can see their foreheads and their toes at the same time. Nick Offerman, American Body Shop. What are you on about? Hepatitis Lee, please. Oh god. I can neither confirm or deny that. Meanwhile, welcome for sure to the chat, as I'm a little bit disappointed we don't see commitment into Stargate. Pacomike, he is going for a Twilight Council, not a second Stargate, and this could be indicative as he gets a couple more gateways of Glaive Adepts. He is still mining from his gases, so this isn't going to be, or this shouldn't be charge. I know Pacomike has been playing around a little bit with Blink Stalker play. But yeah, the most common thing should be Glaive Adepts. There it is. We got Glaives on the way for Pacomike. We'll see how many gateways are thrown down, see how committed he's going to be to this. And I'm concerned because EON, he just lost his Overlord. He has not been able to get into the main base. He has no idea what is coming his way. What he should realize pretty soon is that, hey, you only have 1 Void Ray. And that will immediately cross out, you know, double Stargate play, right? But I'm concerned because he's got a bunch of Queens, which is great. You need a wave of Lings, ideally, to help defend against Glaive Adepts, and at the moment he doesn't have any. Okay, never mind. I say that 14 Lings are on the way. Oh boy, thankfully he is playing this safe. This Void Ray, it gets an Overlord at the cost of its life. Pacomike, please. I don't really know what that was about, but he did just lose his Void Ray a little bit needlessly there. Here we got a massive wave of Lings on the way, looking to try and deny this third base. Meanwhile, that Adept count is getting higher and higher as they are shading across the map. So we're going to be in an interesting situation where the Void Ray died, so there's nothing to protect this third, and the Adepts are going across the map. So Pacomike is going to be forced to warp in here defensively or cancel. Like this is going to be a cancel, right? Oh my god. Don't let it finish. It does finish. The Lings, oh god, Overcharge is being used to try and keep the Nexus alive. He's trying to warp in as many Adepts as he can, just barely. It looks like it may be enough. Mate, Overcharge is just too good. At the same time, the Adepts do get across the map. They actually kill the Queen at the third, and they're going to be able to focus down every single drone here as 6 do go down. Whenever he wants, he could try and shade into the natural base as well. There's barely any Lings here. Most of them died across the map. Roaches are finally coming out though, and Roaches will be able to defend, but wow. Pacomike's like, yo, you tried to kill my third, I'll kill yours instead. It's so low already, less than half health. He's trying to focus it down. Oh my god, he's gonna get it, mate. Only a couple more volleys. 1, 2, 1 more. He shades. No, he shades into the natural base, but it's fine. There are more Adepts coming in. He wants workers and the third base as the Adepts commit to the shade. And one more volley. You can do it. You can do it. One more. One of us. He gets it. The third goes down. 17 drones go down. There are a bunch of Roaches, but they just can't keep up. And this is going to force EON all in. EON, he has to go across the map. There we go. He's going across the map with every single one of his Roaches. He does have Roach speed, so it's not going to take him too long to get across the map. What is there to defend? Now, Pacomike is in full panic mode. He's like, okay, I've dealt all this damage. I've essentially won the game as long as I can hold. Oh god, we have Blink on the way, we have +1 on the way. It's not done yet. He doesn't have any Void Rays either. If he had some Void Rays, he'd be able to defend easily. At the moment, he only has Stalkers and Sentries. Oh god, how good are the Force Fields going to be? They're okay, but they don't fully cut up the army. The Roaches are getting on top of the Sentries and the Stalkers. The shield batteries are about to finish up. Is there enough energy for an overcharge? There is. He gets on top of the Immortal. The Immortal does go down. The Walkers are forced off the line. This is okay though. Pacomike just needs to hold. Overcharge is being used just barely to keep everything alive, and it looks like with Overcharge, it may be enough. Yeah, mate, there's just not enough Roaches. He's being forced back. Even the probes are actually winning the fight. Oh no, as they get focused down. And EON is just slowly running out of steam here. What I will say is that EON, like, his worker count isn't too bad. The problem is that he's on 2 hatcheries. Like, it's awful. He's rallying across the map, making a massive wave of Lings. Oh my god, the Roaches are being focused down. Another wave of Adepts are on the way. With these Adepts, Pacomike should be perfectly fine. Even though there aren't any shield batteries here at the natural base, and this is maybe the worst place to fight. Wow. EON. No GG? Doesn't even GG, leaves the game. Ay. EON was just shut. This is why I always praise Pacomike, and I talk about how he's the best right now in Latin America. He was able to defend his third and kill his opponent's third at the same time. And kill 17 drones. That's crazy. GG, well played Pacomike, doing the Protosses in Latin America proud. Taking game number 1. Now we are getting ready for game number 2. Oh, as I get Gustavo in here. Oh boy, here we go. As it looks like we are going to be getting into 2000 Atmospheres, which is a little more of a standard map. Honestly, I really love this map. When it comes to playing on it, there's nothing too quirky about it. Also, it brings back the Xel'Naga Towers. It's been a long time since we've had Xel'Naga Towers in the game. It's been like 2 years, so finally they are back as well. And we'll see if EON can whip something up here, because he was kind of the reactive player in game number 1, but he also didn't scout the Glaive Adepts at all until it was in his face. And we saw how his defense worked out. As we are getting ready for game number 2 here, we'll be on 2000 Atmospheres LE, and spawning in the top right, we have the Mexican Protoss player representing Alpha X. It is Pacomike. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres LE, we have the Costa Rican Zerg player representing T-Top Gaming. He is purple. He is, of course, EON. So welcome the Zerg troll in the chat. welcome. It's been too long. I feel like I always say that whenever you show up. It's been a while. Oh god. Thank you. We appreciate the supports, and yeah, I'm sure Pacomike does as well. You know what? I'm gonna quickly check the Matcherino. !Matcherino, by the way, if you want to help support the tournament, use code NAVLA53 to add $1 for free. And massive shout out to Lord Loken in the chat for contributing to the prize pool and adding 35 USD of his own money to boost it. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. I know Darking appreciates it as the tournament organizer, and so do the players. Lord Logan, he's being, he's gaining a lot of notoriety in our events. Like all the Oceanic players and the Latin American players as well, they're starting to recognize Lord Logan. They're like, yo, he's the guy. It's cool. But we'll see which one of these players will walk away with some of that prize money. At the moment, Pacomike is looking pretty good, but at the same time, in game number 1, he kind of got to do whatever he wanted. He got to play his game of StarCraft, and EON was kind of struggling to defend. We'll see if EON turns up the aggression and tries to turn the tables on Pacomike a little bit here. Something that's interesting already is that EON, he is working on his queens. He still hasn't gone for a third base. Typically you would see it at around this time, but we'll see if maybe he's just taking it a little bit later. Yeah, just a little bit later as the drone is heading out to get that third. Nice. And once again, we have a Stargate opener coming out here for Pacomike. Now, will he go Glaive Adepts 2 games in a row? I doubt it. I doubt it. I do know that Pacomike likes to have some fun, and maybe he will. Maybe because he's up 1-0 in this series, he'll do something a little bit more unorthodox. But at the same time, I feel like a map like this can be pretty decent for SkyToss. So we'll see what he has in store for us. As the first Adept is just shading in, this time there are a lot more Lings to help defend against it. Last time there were only 2 Lings for EON, so the Adept was able to get away with a little bit more. Meanwhile, now we have 2 Adepts here for Pacomike, who does get the Creep Tumor. Does he commit to the Shade? Up! He does. He commits to the Shade. The Lings are here ready and waiting, but regardless, more drones will go down. 2 more fall. Oh god, a 4th? Wow. 5th? No. only 4 drones go down. And here we go. Pacomike, after the first Void Ray, is going for an Oracle. So he is switching things up here. I love it. By now, Pacomike would have had a Twilight Council if this was game number 1, so yeah. Diversifying a little bit. We see the third base is on the way. The Void Ray is here at the third to defend against it. We don't have anything crazy like game number 1 where he just dove in with his Void Ray and lost it to a single Overlord for some reason, question mark. But it is here, and with this, he should be able to easily hold on to his third. EON is also aware that there is a Void Ray here. The Oracle hasn't revealed itself yet, and there are a couple of ways that this can turn out, right? The Oracle does get across the map. Oh no, there's no Spore here. 4 drones go down. Thankfully, the Queens were in position and they were able to push away the Oracle. I was about to say, if EON had made a wave of Lings to attack the third, then he would have forced Pacomike to keep the Oracle at home to defend. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. The Oracle already getting a lot of worker kills. Ooh, being a little bit greedy there. Getting another worker kill, almost goes down, taking a lot of damage. But 5 drones, so far, it's worth it, especially because the Oracle is still alive. He can dive in again, throw down a tag, like tag the army, throw down a revelation if he needs to. And interesting, Pacomike, sorry, EON is taking a 4th base. I did not expect this. I saw the Roach Horn and Roach Speed on the way, and I'm like, yo, maybe he's gonna want to try and hit some timing, but you know, we've got our Evo chambers, he's working on upgrades, he's working on his 4th base. Like, EON wants to get into a longer game. I'm shocked, mate. This is not the EON I know. The EON I know would have tried to end the game a little bit earlier. Meanwhile, oh my god, the queens were distracted and the Oracle dives in again. 6 spore drones go down. Get some spores. Ay, ay, ay. Finally, we have a spore in the main. But EON was being so greedy, delaying that, or really he didn't want a spore. He wanted to try and defend with only his queens and cut some corners, right? God damn. And now Pacomike, you know, he's ahead in that economy. He's working on his immortals as well. 1st immortal already popping out, 2nd on the way. Getting ready to push out with +1 Blink Stalkers. Thankfully, EON does have a changeling here, so he actually has eyes on the army. He should have a decent idea of the composition that his opponent is going to be working towards. Roach Ravager can definitely defend against it. Roach Hydra, interesting. This does feel a little bit old school from EON, as I'm concerned for his life. But I would love this if EON immediately throws down a Lurker Den as soon as the Hydra Den is done, right? Throw down a Lurker Den, get a couple of Hydras, morph them into Lurkers, and defending against a ground composition is so much easier. But we'll see if EON goes for that, as we see a Stasis Ward in the main base. EON does react, only loses 1 drone to it. So thankfully his defenses have improved over time. Didn't lose any extra workers to that. And meanwhile, we do see Pacomike working towards a robotic spade. Oh god, I'm so scared for EON. Like, Colossus or Disruptors, heaven forbid, are going to be on the way for Pacomike, and splitting against Disruptors with Roach Hydra is so difficult. I guess it can be done, to be fair. It's not ideal, as we do have an Infestation Pit on the way. It does look like maybe EON isn't really fond of Lurker play. We'll see, because he's going to be working towards his Hive, and based off of his previous games, I imagine he wants to get into Vipers. But again, like, Lurker, Hydra, Viper, like, that's kind of the composition you want to work towards, right? Oh god, but we'll see if the game even lasts that long, as Pacomike is pushing across the map. He's got plenty of sentries, 4 force fields, and no Ravagers to stop the force fields. Like, that's what's terrifying. As the 4th base is gonna go down, like, there are plenty of sentries to just wall off the army, and yeah, EON, he just backs up. He gives it up. He knows he cannot save it, as the 4th does die. Thankfully, the drones were able to hide, and they will be able to survive the onslaught. Oh, did I speak too soon? I spoke too soon. Oh no, the drones! They all get caught out. All the drones go down. 9 drones do fall. All this creep is gonna be cleared up as well. Thankfully, EON has bought a lot of time, and there we go. Finally, we have some Ravagers in this army. Finally, he'll be able to help deal with the force fields, as a couple of hallucinated Colossus do get dealt with. Oh boy. At the same time, the Void Ray, oh my god, it's actually going to deny the base. There it is, forces a cancel. Ay, ay, ay. EON stuck on 3 bases. He just can't expand. He's forced to move a couple of Hydras to help deal with the Void Ray. At the same time, the main army moves towards the 3rd base. Oh my god, show me those force fields. With only 2 immortals, it's going to be difficult here, as the force fields do go down. A couple of Biles are trying to help clean them up, and they do. But again, the force fields are just so good. The immortals are just going to town on this army. +1, of course, kicking in. Sorry, +2 even on these stalkers. Ay, ay, ay. And Pacomike, he's looking to back off. Honestly, though, I think he can take this army. Like, there's only 2 Roaches left. Like, there's not a lot protecting the Hydras. And once the Roach Ravager falls, the Hydras are so squishy, so fragile. In the end, Pacomike does back off. We'll see if he rotates around towards the 4th. Like, all Pacomike has to do, because he's taking his own 4th, is just deny the 4th base of EON. Like, the 4th hatchery. Like, that's all he really has to do, and we'll see. We'll see if he works towards that. At the moment, he's getting both forms of AoE. He's getting Colossus and Disruptor at the same time. Jesus Christ. Things are not looking good. Things are looking pretty scary here. Oh god. EON is trying to hit the 3rd base of Pacomike. Pacomike spots it with the Zealots and the Stasis. Yo, Pacomike doesn't even flinch, mate. He doesn't even care. He sees the army threatening his 3rd. He's like, what? What are you gonna do? I'm just gonna keep going. And here we go. The lurkers are finally on the way. No, the lurkers! No! There's only 1 left. There's 0 left. 0 lurkers are going to be coming out here for EON. Lurkers were really what he needed to help hold on here and help defend. He's getting a nice like pseudo surround on the army, but oh my god, the disruptor shots are landing. One of the flanks completely gets eviscerated, and now there's just too much Protoss, mate. Oh my god. As Pacomike can just push on forward. The 3rd base is almost down as well. Pacomike he just needs like 1 volley and the 3rd will fall. But he's scared, actually. He doesn't want to overextend. And I don't blame him, right? When you're ahead in the game, when you're winning all these fights, you don't want to throw. Like, that's the last thing you want to do. We've all been there, right? Where you're feeling good, you're winning a game, and then you just go a little bit too far, you lose your army, and then suddenly, GG. But he does back off. He was waiting for his High Templar, as he did research Storm. Storm is available. He's ready to just push on forward. Looking at EON's army, he finally did get some lurkers. 2 lurkers are finally done, and I don't think there is detection here. No, there is no detection. But you know what? The army doesn't care about detection. He kills the 3rd base. At the same time, though, a massive run by. Lings are getting into the natural base. We got Roach Hydra hitting the 3rd base as well, and he's forcing Pacomike back. Question mark. Pacomike's just kind of idle in the middle of the map. At the same time, Zealots are hitting the 3rd base of EON. They are getting cleaned up, though. Like, Pacomike needs to come home to be able to defend this, but we do have a Colossus coming out as well. Like, this will get cleaned up. EON, he is going for a counterattack with what little he has, but he is running into the main army. Oh no. Oh god, as he does run into it, there's still plenty of energy on these High Templar. Sure, 8 drones went down, sorry, 8 probes did go down, which is great. But EON lost the base. Like, EON is really struggling with his economy to keep up. He does have a decent bank. He has a pretty big mineral bank, actually. So maybe making a wave of links would help. But Pacomike, he's taking a 5th base. This is a 5th, mate. Oh my god. Say hi to me, dang it. I said hello before for sure. God damn it. But yes, welcome to the stream. As Pacomike, he defends everything. He's got his 5th base up and running. He's got his fleet beacon. He's working on his transition into the late game, into the sky toss. Again, Pacomike is in full control of the game right now. EON, he's trying to go for some run buys, which is what he needs to do, to be fair. It's just, he doesn't have a lot to work with. That's the problem. Like, look how little supply he has at the moment. He's down 70 supply. But he's trying, as the Roach Hydra force does hit the 3rd. Pacomike is notified due to his Zealots, and he's just warping in a couple of Zealots defensively at home. The main army, will he turn around? He's not really committing either. Okay, there we go. He does push on forward, runs into the main army of EON. Oh my god, storms all over it as well. And EON's counterattack was forced back by those Zealots. EON, he just cannot penetrate the defenses of Pacomike. Pacomike, I believe he does have detection now, as the storms just blanket the entire Zerg army, all the Hydras and the Lurkers. The Lurkers, they all get focused down. Only Hydras remain, and GG, well played. Pacomike takes game number 2 and the entire series.